Okay, Scott?
Bob Van Haren,
Here.
Nick Reed,
Here.
Jennifer Baker,
Here.
Philip Frame,
Here.
Kari Manuel,
Here.
Wayne Allman, Susan Stockton,
Here.
Jim Bodenhammer.
Here.
Okay, your first item of business tonight is the minutes from the August 21st meeting for your approval.
I'll make a motion we adopt the minutes.
Second.
Philip Frame,
Abstain.
Kari Manuel,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Abstain.
Okay, you've got some committee reports. Anyone has any questions about those? If not, I do have two announcements, not Roger, before we go into business. The first one, Wayne Allman's not with us tonight. He decided, I think yesterday, that he had some plumbing issues near his heart and had to have a stent put in yesterday and got cleaned out. So Wayne had a little, what do you call that, pipe patch put in yesterday or something like that. So I did visit with him this afternoon, Chris, and everything's going good this afternoon, but so he's resting up. The second thing is, and I know some of y'all probably had questions today, and there's been a lot of calls and stuff about what on earth was going on in this town this morning. While I won't say a lot about what went on, I can tell you the Mountain Home PD and with Chief Becker, they did a great job for not just today, but this has been building up for a while now, and they've done a great job with that, and what they did today is a really outstanding effort on their behalf, and we'll just leave that at that. And hopefully there's going to be a lot less drug dealers on the streets around Mountain Home for a little while. So appreciate y'all's efforts there, Eddie. Very good job. All right, Roger. First item we've got is a resolution. I think Ted's needing to set a public hearing for an abandonment of an easement. And it's for the first time you've done one. It's not in Big Creek, Ted. What's going on?
How about Aldi's?
There you go.
Nice.
You must be a popular guy.
So we need y'all to approve this resolution to set a public hearing prior to the next council meeting, correct, Ted?
I'm going to be on vacation for the next council meeting, I'm sorry.
Well, what if we're going to be on one at the next one?
I would have, but I did it. I'm going to do it for October 2nd, which is your first council meeting, and
October. Okay.
I would have done it for this next one, but can't do it.
Come be
next.
gone.
All right, so if y'all would, we need to set that public hearing for Ted by approving that resolution, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the public hearing.
Second.
Kari Manuel,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
All right.
So I assume that means they're not going to be starting construction before October.
What happened is when they built Charles Blackburn Drive, they did build it in the easement. They built it a little north, so there's some land that was in the easement between the section of the property and the road that we're abandoning, the easement that was granted to the city. And then there was, between El Chico and that other lot next to it, there was an easement going right down the center. And all these properties going to go a little beyond that easement, so they wanted that easement that was separating it north and south, but we're leaving the easement on the south side next to Home Depot.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted that done, so.
Does this all that have to be, does that all have to be done before they can start construction? Oh, okay. 'Cause
I don't think
I haven't been out there.
They're off the construction. They got permitted already.
Okay, I haven't been out there lately to see what's going on.
they just
Good,
allow better access, allows them, they don't want that easement on that property. but-
No, you wouldn't want that.
You got your quarter for your cart ready? Is that,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
wait, use that quarter?
Oh, yeah, for my cart, yeah. Last few times I've gotten lucky and they just handed me one in it. Yeah, they just handed me theirs in the parking lot. and I
Why don't we
paid
do
for
this,
it.
Roger? Let's go ahead and go to the next item.
I had so many
You go
inquiries
home.
about all
be
these.
dismissed.
You go home.
Goodbye.
It's an ordinance to amend the Mountain Home zoning ordinance to better address commercial building facades, to amend ordinance number 1998-21, ordinance number 2007-20, and to repeal ordinance 2022-13. That's the second reading.
That's the second reading of it right there. I think y'all might have made some recommendations or changes last time, correct, Scott, or was there anything? Okay.
Best of my knowledge, no, there's been no recommendations or anything on it, so.
Very good. So we'll move on down, Roger, to the next item, please.
It's an ordinance providing for the building of parking lots, planting of shrubs and landscaping, and providing for permits for the construction thereof, updating Mountain Home parking lot and landscape regulations, amending ordinance 2021-13, and to repeal ordinance 97-30.
Again, this is just like the last one from last week, and the second reading of that right there for you. All right, Roger, now we can move into something,
Those will just come up for third reading or
yes,
passage next
at
time.
the next meeting right there, yeah.
You ready for the next one, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Whereas Section 1104 of the Mountain Home Municipal Code addresses fire prevention, whereas it is recognized need to update existing fire prevention code for the welfare and safety of citizens, whereas fire prevention code was previously updated through ordinance number 2025-2, adopted on February 6, 25, therefore be it ordained by the council. Part 1, Chapter 1104 of the Municipal Code of the City of Mountain Home is amended to include the following. Section 1, permits. Any person desiring to install fire sprinkler systems, commercial kitchen hood suppression systems, fire alarm systems, and any life safety or fire suppression system that require a licensed contractor by the state shall, before commencing any work, apply for a permit from the fire marshal's office. Person applying for a permit must submit all information required by the fire marshal's office for the type of work to be performed, along with a copy of the current licensure of the contractor involved. All such applications shall be reviewed by fire marshal's office. Only after review by the office can an applicant receive a permit. Construction documents, shop drawings, and any supporting data shall be submitted in 2 or more sets with each application for a permit in such form and detail as required by the fire marshal. Such documents shall be of sufficient clarity to indicate the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed, and show in detail that it will conform to provisions of this code and all relevant laws, ordinances, rules, and regulations as determined by the fire marshal. One set of documents shall be retained by the fire marshal for a period of not less than 180 days from date of completion of the permitted work, or as required by state or local laws. One set of approved documents shall be returned to the applicant, and the documents shall be kept on the site of the building or work at all times during which work authorized thereby is in progress. It shall be unlawful to commence work until the fire marshal's office has issued a permit for such work. Whenever fire marshal's office shall disapprove an application or refuse to grant a license or permit applied for when it is claimed that the provision of this article does not apply, or that the true intent and meaning of this article shall have been misconstrued or wrongfully interpreted, the applicant may appeal the decision of fire marshal's office to city council within 20 working days. The routine maintenance of fire protection systems is hereby exempted from these permitting requirements. For emergency repair work, an application for a permit shall be made within 2 working days of commencement of work. All persons performing work to include fire sprinkler systems, extinguishers, commercial kitchen hood suppression systems, fire alarm systems shall maintain a current state license for the type of work being performed. Only individuals holding a current state license in the respective discipline will be permitted to obtain a permit to do work in the jurisdiction of the city. No contractor shall allow any person or employee to work under his permit without that individual also having a current state license for the type of work being performed. Section 3, acceptance test. All work for which permits are required by this article shall have an acceptance test performed to verify proper operation. Test must be witnessed by fire marshal. Equipment being tested must meet all requirements set forth in fire marshal's office before it may be accepted by the owner and put into use. Person to whom such a permit is issued shall notify fire marshal's office, schedule an appointment for testing when the equipment is ready. Section 4, inspection reports. Any company performing monthly, bi-monthly, semi-annual, or annual inspections on fire protection equipment installed in any business in the city shall submit all inspection reports in digital format to the fire inspector's office within 14 days of completion. Section 5, any person violating this section of the Mountain Home City Code shall, upon conviction, be deemed guilty of misdemeanor. Punishment may be by a fine of $250 per offense. Part 2, the Mountain Home Ordinance 2025-2 is repealed in its entirety upon adoption of this ordinance.
All right, y'all, Sean Lofton, I thought Chris was gonna do this. I saw him walking around with an iPad earlier, Sean. I thought that's the digital thing that we've added to this.
I think he was playing the
So
game.
I think we're better off with you trying to explain.
Candy
it
Crush?
to
Probably
everybody.
so. The major change in this is adding Section 4, which would require any company doing inspections to submit that inspection report to the fire inspector, fire marshal's office, in a timely manner, a couple of weeks. It's just, we needed that language in there to hold a few of the company's feet to the fire. So everything else was unchanged with the exception of Section 4, and then Section 4 was renamed to Section 5.
Well, and that's something that was supposed to be being done before. It just wasn't black and white enough? Is that basically the...
Yeah.
Make a motion, we suspend the rules, put on second reading?
Second.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
I don't want to sound bad, but I think the clerk and attorney and Harrison each have a separate mic. Not to say anything about how we're having to move it back and
Yeah.
forth or anything.
Well,
They're living a little fancier.
Yeah, probably so.
Probably get paid more. than-
They do. It's an ordinance to amend Section 1104 of the Mountain Home, Arkansas City Code, also known as the Fire Prevention Code, for the practical safeguarding of persons, buildings, and their contents from the dangers and hazards arising from fire and life safety emergencies, and to repeal Ordinance 2025-2.
Motion to suspend the rules, put on third reading?
Second.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
It's an ordinance to amend Section 1104 of the Mountain Home, Arkansas City Code, also known as Fire Prevention Code, for the practical safeguarding of persons, buildings, and their contents from the dangers and hazards arising from fire and life safety emergencies, and to repeal ordinance number 2025-2.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Kari Emanuel,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker.
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
Yes.
Thank you.
okay, Roger.
Whereas Arkansas 811 program, also known as Arkansas One Call Program and One Call Center, exists to help residents, contractors, and others more easily identify the location of underground utility lines and therefore avoid potential accidents damaging utilities. Whereas Chapter 271 of the Arkansas Code Annotated requires no person engaged in excavation or demolition activities without first having contacted the One Call Center at least 2 days prior to any exaction or demolition operation. Whereas the disturbance and damage to the underground utility lines can have serious repercussions for utility companies, City of Mountain Home, and persons involved in the excavation or demolition process, especially when the locations of the underground utility lines are not designated as such beforehand, therefore be it ordained by the City Council. Section 1E, person that engages in excavation or demolition activities in the city is required to first contact 811 program prior to beginning such works. Contact with the Arkansas 811 program shall be made at least 2, but not more than 10 full working days before commencing activity. Section 2, any person while in operation of any machine capable of earth moving who recklessly damages or destroys any underground utilities within semblance of the city and has failed to first contact Arkansas 811 program may be subject to the penalties provided by Arkansas Code Annotated 538-204, and for any penalties provided in Arkansas Code Annotated 14-271-104 of the Arkansas Underground Facilities Damage Prevention Act. Any person who is discovered by fire marshal, building inspector, or code enforcement officer to be operating any machine capable of earth moving is engaged in the process of earth moving and has failed to contact Arkansas 811 program, also known as Arkansas One Call Program, may subject themselves to penalties provided in this ordinance. Section 3, any person company, or firm found to be in violation of this ordinance may be issued a summons to appear in Baxter County District Court, and if convicted, shall be guilty of an unclassified misdemeanor. Unless otherwise provided in a section of this ordinance, for violation of these sections, the fine shall be as follows. First and second offense within a year of the first, the fine is $250. A third offense within a year of the first, the fine is $500. The fourth or subsequent offense within the same year, defendant shall be fined $1,000. For each day a violation continues, person shall be deemed guilty of a new violation. The fine shall accumulate for each day of the violation continues. Court costs are not included in the fine amounts. Section 4, any person, company, or firm found violating this ordinance may have their business license and/or permits issued to the person, company, or firm suspended or revoked for no more than 6 months for the first and/or second offense. When a third or subsequent violation occurs, the person, company, or firm's business license and/or permits issued may be suspended or revoked for a period of no more than 1 year. A reinstatement fee of $50 shall be applied for all suspended or revoked business license or permits. Section 5, any person, company, or firm found violating this ordinance and has outstanding fines or fees may have their business license or permits suspended or revoked until those fines and fees have been paid in full. No new business licenses or permits shall be issued until all fines and fees have been paid in full. C, utilities may also be disconnected as a result of failure to comply. Section 6, should any section of this ordinance be declared by the courts to be unconstitutional or invalid, such decision may not affect the validity of the ordinance as a whole or any part thereof other than the part declared to be unconstitutional or invalid.
Okay, so the reason that we're bringing this ordinance to you guys, Black Hills Energy contacted us and with some pretty shocking statistics. In the state of Arkansas as a whole, about 20% of the underground utility damage is caused during or by people that did not call 811 before they dug. And in the area that we're in, between here and Harrison, that average is about 50%. So it's more than double of the state average. What we run into is people start digging without calling beforehand, and they don't have the lines marked. And this is gas, water, fiber, electric, everything. They hit a gas line, then the fire department gets called because that's where we go, and we have spent up to 8 hours or more in the past at calls just standing by for safety measures. If we had an ordinance passed like this, we would have something that we can maybe get a little bit of that monies back that we're spending on overtime to pay somebody to stay out there and babysit these leaks. This isn't really going to affect anybody that calls before they dig. It's not going to affect anybody that hits an underground utility after the property has been marked. That's just on one call or whoever the utility company is. This is just going to affect people that decide to go and put a fence in their backyard and don't call ahead and hit a gas line or a fiber line with their post hole digger. So that's the reason behind this proposal.
Do you know how quickly the response is when you do call to have it painted?
I'm sorry?
How quickly do they respond?
I want to say that usually within a few days, like a couple of days.
If you're lucky. I can tell you, at least for ARCUPs who marks for 811, they are horribly understaffed as well. So by law, they have to mark in 2 days unless they call the person and ask for an extension. But even then, we've had at Yelcott it go upwards of 2 weeks where they don't show up and they say they've marked it.
So. And I think it varies from utility to utility, doesn't it?
Well,
like Black Hills might get out quicker than...
Black Hills self-locates. 811, when you call 811, it goes to ARCUPs. It also goes to everybody else. It goes to the city. It goes to Energy. Energy self-locates now. They don't use ARCUPs anymore. So it's up to, like you said, it's up to the utility to mark. And many use a company called ARCUPs to do so. Who, like I said, they have a
few years since I've had to call them, but they came out at different times. You know, you'd have the blue water and you'd have the yellow fiber optic or whatever it is in different colors mark up your yard. But yeah, they were fairly responsive then, but that's been 5 years ago. So.
Yeah, but so long as the person who's digging has record that they contacted 811.
Right.
They can't
And
be.
There's, I mean, if they hit an underground utility, there's nothing really that can be, there's no recourse for that. That's just an accident. We're looking for the people that are doing
Don't
it,
call.
not necessarily maliciously, but just
Lazy.
lazy.
Well, they don't always
Doing it in a
know
hurry.
about it.
Well, and this comes to point, though, to question, though, is if they call and they say, 48 hours is supposed to be the average, and they wait 5 days and nobody comes out and marks, how are we going to,
I believe that the one call center will actually have a record, so I don't know, that would just have to be seen.
okay,
If they made the call,
okay.
so if they've got
Well,
a
no,
ticket
but I was
number,
just
then they-
curious, if it's 5 days later, they're waiting and nobody's come out and marked after 5 days, then,
And there is a window in there,
Yeah.
in the Arkansas law, there's a window, I think it's 10 or 14 days, I can't remember which
Okay.
one it is. But if you start working after that 10-day period, then you're no longer covered under the protection of the one call.
Well, this is in the ordinance about it, too, if you don't wait too long.
Right. And as my understanding is, the current law, the state statute can only be enforced, or maybe a citation can only be written by the Attorney General. This would give us the opportunity to do it here. Well, if the Attorney General writes a citation, that money goes back to the state coffers. Here, if we're not available to write that citation, either the code enforcement guy or the law enforcement can.
Yeah, this has in here about, should be made at least 2, but not more than 10 full working days before commencing the activity, so.
I think another aspect of it, though, we should look at, not only recovering money, but just trying to minimize breakage of utility lines, because
Sure.
it could be one of us, it could be somebody that needs electric for medical reason, losing our electricity.
Right.
In some cases, maybe a long period of time.
I'll make the motion to suspend the rules for a second reading.
Second.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Carr Emanuel,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren.
yes.
This ordinance to require the use of the Arkansas 811 program before excavating or demolishing property in the city of Mountain Home and prescribing penalties for failing to do so should damage occur.
Motion to suspend the rules for the third reading.
Second.
Carr Emanuel,
Yes.
Susan Stockton,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Nick Reed.
Yes.
It's an ordinance to require the use of the Arkansas 811 program before excavating or demolishing property in the city of Mountain Home, Arkansas, and for prescribing penalties for failing to do so should damage occur.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Jim Bodenhammer,
Yes.
Philip Frame,
Yes.
Bob Van Haren,
Yes.
Carr Emanuel,
Yes.
Nick Reed,
Yes.
Jennifer Baker,
Yes.
Susan Stockton.
Yes.
No emergency.
No. It'll take
30 days.
30 days before it'll go into, 30 days before we can write a citation on it. So it's civil penalty. not-
Jennifer, anything with a civil penalty has to go the full petition period before it can go into effect, so you can't really emergency clause it.
Thank you.
No, it's that health and safety issue with emergency clauses. It is a health and safety, so.
Okay, while this meeting's been taking place, Steve and I have both got a text. I want to share a little information with you. We mentioned here a while back Kendrick Ketchum and what he was going through. And sitting here during this meeting tomorrow is his last radiation treatment. He gets to ring the bell tomorrow. He's very excited that he's soon going to make a trip or have a day. He doesn't have to go to Little Rock for some treatment and be able to be back and see us soon.
Very nice.
And then the only other thing I wanted to mention, I forgot to say earlier, is I wanted to thank Tina Gregory. In case you haven't looked around, she did some decoration in the office in the chambers this week. Mainly these two fine signs right here. And we wish the Goblins, we wish the Goblins a safe trip back home tomorrow night after the Bombers eat them up tomorrow night. So,
One announcement.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, this Saturday, Norfolk Trout Hatchery, Friends of Black River, having Norfolk Adventure Day at the Trout Hatchery. Starts at 9 o'clock, 9 to 2 or 3, I'm not sure the end of the time. Anyways, for the kids, they can fish in the runway or fish in Ryman Creek, and there's all sorts of other things for them to do. Master partners will be there. Anyway, so if you know any kids or grandkids that want to come out and have fun at the Trout Hatchery, it's this Saturday.
Mayor, I'd like to say, are you through? I'd like to note the passing of Kenneth Smith, Gasville City Councilman. Kenneth did a lot community-wide.
He was a JP at one time, wasn't he a JP at one time?
Well, Kenneth was just a good public citizen and did a lot in public safety, and this area is better for it.
Anything else?
Mayor, don't forget the fire department, police department rag ball game is this Saturday at 6 o'clock out at the
Well,
School
I'm going
softball.
to stay away from that because this week we had to name a replacement for my umpire position first. I've seen some pretty shady activity. The replacement umpires had coffee brought to them this week, fancy coffee, not this kind of coffee. There's a lot of activity going on trying to sway the outcome of the game right there. I happened to witness it this week a couple of times. So.
Who's the replacement?
I'm not going to say.
Don't say it, 'cause you have to go in there and find
There
out.
might be more activity going to try to sway this thing, but I just hope they're all able to come to work.
No hamstring.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn before we have any more stories.
All in favor?
Right.
All right, sounds good.
God, I'm gonna leave it.
All right.